this way.
We gotta get closer.
You gotta get closer. You're still half in.
You just gotta turn it a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're gonna pull it up on here so we can see the questions. All right, now this is delayed down here. Hello, everyone. We're just getting set up. People are hopping on. We're a couple minutes early.
Oh, okay.
A couple minutes. Look, we got our matching shirts on.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see. I want to see the comments down here. How can I see the comments down here? Somebody said hello from Kentucky. Okay, Shirley, hello from Kentucky. Hello from Dallas, Fort Worth. All right, yeah, let us know where you're participating from while we're waiting. We're going to wait till 6 o'clock to kind of officially get started. But if you've got questions, put them in the chat, in the comments, so that we can address them. Let's see here. We've got 60-something people already. Ohio. Ohio's probably got some snow. Who's got snow? We've had cold weather, but we don't have snow, of course. Cold, wet, and rainy from Michigan. Yeah, it's cold, wet, and rainy here today.
I can imagine.
Portsmouth, Rhode Island, Scranton, PA. Merry Christmas, Kim. St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. We cruised there several times.
Right. Well,
West Virginia. Yep. Probably cold there as well. Ontario. It's probably definitely cold there. Lots of snow in PA. Lucy, we're doing great. Southeast Alabama.
no snow there.
Sarah. Orlando, Florida. I wish I was back in Orlando, Florida. Prince George, Virginia. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's a fun place to say. Tuscaloosa. 1 minute, we'll get started here. Up to about 100 people. Columbia, South Carolina. It's raining in West Virginia. It's raining here, too. It was very cold and rainy today. Not fun. I'm glad we went to see the Christmas lights last night. And I'm battling a little bit of a sinus cold. He had it, and he's done with it. Hopefully you're done with it.
Hopefully.
I've been coughing a lot today. Iowa. Hello, Bonnie. Medway, Massachusetts. Baltimore, Maryland. Danielson, Connecticut. Vancouver, British Columbia. That's all the way over on the West Coast. Philadelphia. New Jersey. Western PA. Lots of snow. But the snow's melting. It was 46 today compared to 30 a couple days ago. On their way to Myrtle Beach. We did not go to Myrtle Beach this year. Usually we go Thanksgiving time, but instead we took a cruise. Merry Christmas, Lucy. Okay, so it's after, well, is it 6 o'clock? Another minute. I saw our first question, which I'm going to wait. Okay, it's 6 o'clock officially. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. The first question I've got, let's see. Mindy wants to know, Bob, where's your favorite place to travel? Disney, cruises, somewhere else?
I like the cruises.
Yeah, they're very relaxing.
And Disney is top of the line.
Disney's a close second.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think I'm dragging you there.
Oh, I know.
Would you rather not be there?
No, I'd rather go.
You're happy to go, because sometimes I go by myself. Scotland, we got someone from Scotland. London, Ontario. Cranston, Rhode Island. Where are we? We're in North Carolina, just north of Charlotte. Rain in Wilmastown, Kentucky. Did anyone notice what he's wearing tonight? He got his hat back from Cracker Barrel, right? It was in the mail today.
I know it.
And it was a whole box full of goodies.
You got a whole bunch of swag.
We got some Cracker Barrel water bottles and cups. Cups.
We
got like a stress thing, so when I get stressed at him not listening to me, I can squeeze this Cracker Barrel star.
And gift certificates.
We've got some little gift cards for some of the free thin sticks. We've got, if we go to the Myrtle Beach store, we can get a free peg game. We've got some little gift bags here. So thank you to the manager. Where's her card? What was her name again? Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
She was very sweet because she had our hat. She sent a message. I had Dad call. I made him do it. I've forgotten her name already. Kelly. Kelly Haller is the general manager in the Walterboro, South Carolina Cracker Barrel. So thank you, Kelly, for getting the hat back. That was a brand new hat because you were wearing a grumpy hat.
Right.
And people said you weren't grumpy. The workers kept saying, he looks happy. He's not grumpy. So we had to get you a hat that wasn't grumpy anymore.
And when we had breakfast at Cracker Barrel going to Florida, somebody graciously bought our breakfast.
Right.
And we don't know who.
When we were walking through the restaurant to get seated, and that was on Thanksgiving Day, I swear I heard someone say, "There's Josh." And I looked around, we were walking to our seat, and I did not recognize anyone, and nobody said anything. So then I kind of just assumed that I'd overheard a conversation that was just, I was hearing things. And then the waitress came and told us at the end that someone had taken care of our dinner. So thank you very much for that. Let's see, here's someone originally from Rochester, New York. Not in the Finger Lakes. Go Bills. Are you excited about the Bills game this Sunday?
I am, yeah.
Here's someone, hello from Norway. We didn't get to do the Norway ride at Epcot. It was busy and we didn't get there.
That's always fun.
We love Norway. It's just beautiful. The countryside looks beautiful. Let's see. Why not Disneyland? Someone wants us to come to California. We've been to Disneyland, and we lost Betty at Disneyland, or he lost Betty at Disneyland.
Am I responsible for that?
I think so. Go ahead and tell them the story about losing Betty.
Well, we were having, we were having lunch, and she wanted to go to the bathroom, so I pointed out where it was. She went there and came back. So when we were almost finished with lunch, she says, "I'm going back to the bathroom." And since she'd already been there, I said, "Fine, there it is. You know how to get back." She went there and never came back.
And I was at a conference at the Disneyland Hotel, so you texted me.
I texted you and I said, "You're going to kill me. I lost Mom." But anyways, an hour and a half later, we found her, or the security found her.
Right.
And she wasn't concerned. She was just sitting there waiting her turn.
Yep.
So, funny.
Thankfully, we found her. She was a silver alert for Orange County in California.
Yeah.
Here's a question. I lost it. A question from Nadia. Do you prefer dining out or home cooking?
I like home cooking.
He likes to cook. He actually enjoys it. It's something you never did until Mom had the hip surgery and was kind of sick. We cooked in the Boy Scouts. I didn't ever cook that much. I'll make spaghetti.
Cooked in the Boy Scouts
stuff,
and I grilled out at home, but that was the extent of my experience cooking. But when she had her hip surgery and so forth, I took it over and never went back. She never touched the stove again.
So you kind of enjoy trying to figure out how to make things. You've made pies. You've tried some dishes. We just don't do it a lot because we run out for an appointment and we stop and eat, and it's just the two of us. And it seems like when we cook, we have too much food. Yeah. We're going to try to get better in the first of the year, where we're at least going to do pasta once a week, because I stocked up on a lot of Father Jim's Miss Marie's spaghetti sauce, so we've got a lot of that.
When Dave and Marie are up, that's 4 people.
Yeah, sometimes we do it on Saturday. My brother and sister-in-law come.
I like to cook for them.
Somebody's asking about the address to send a card. I'll repost our mailbox address. Please, gifts aren't necessary, but some people like to send letters or cards, and you enjoy getting those.
Are we going to address the elephant in the room?
The basketball?
No, the scooter.
Yes. Tell about who online here saw his scooter crash that I happened to catch on film. I just was filming him driving down the lines, and you have a hard time making the turn at some of the railings, so you have to back up and go forward, and then you mixed. I happened to be filming at the Star Wars ride, and you mixed up.
I mixed up forward and reverse.
Glad he doesn't drive a car anymore.
And I hit the wall, busted the basket, drove the upright column backwards, which you had to adjust the next day, and we fixed the basket.
Because it was making a noise.
So, you're not going to take my driver's license.
No, you can keep. And how many people did you hit, people-wise?
At least 2.
At least 2. And he hit a custodial worker, but she was really good about it, because she said she wasn't hurt. And she told him she had like 3 more hours to go, so she told him to hit her harder so she could go home. Rochester, New York. We know all about Rochester.
Yeah.
Let's see. What other questions do you guys have? I'm scrolling down. Oh, here's someone. Diane, hello from Mooresville. That's where we are, Mooresville. Flowery Branch, Georgia. St. Louis, Missouri. Home cooking's best. What do you like to make when you cook? What's your favorite thing to cook?
Well, I like to make that chicken with the stuffing.
Chicken and stuffing
That's
is
good.
one of my favorites. You haven't made that in a long time.
Favorite is probably pasta.
Pasta,
which
we do
is
that a
the
lot.
simplest.
Yep. Meatloaf, you do a really good meatloaf.
I make a meatloaf, and we've done pork roast, and I've done roasted beef, and pork loins.
Yep. Wendy says she would also like to say that she loves Hallmark movies as well. You like zeroing in on those Hallmark type movies, don't you?
I know it, but there's a sleep factor there that.
You've been falling asleep the last couple nights. We've tired you out.
And we did see the Bills Hallmark movie. And
Yeah, we liked it.
We liked it. We recognized so many places. So many places.
Renee Hadley Scott. Do we miss the snow? We know Renee. Do we miss the snow here in Western New York?
No.
No, we do not.
No, not at all.
And Renee's a friend of mine. And you know, I was not very good about shopping, Renee, when I was at Disney, but I didn't do a lot of deep diving looking for goofy pins, Christmas pins, but I didn't see any goofy Christmas pins. I was good about I did very little shopping.
Yeah.
Probably so I didn't spend the money, but I did kind of take a look.
I think you bought me the hat.
I bought you the hat. I bought you a couple of t-shirts. I bought myself a hat. I didn't buy myself any shirts.
No.
I bought us the green sweatshirts that we wore that had Santa Mickey on them. We bought those. And I had seen those when I was down there in November and wanted them for us, but I didn't want to get them because I
These we
carrying
bought the previous.
Yeah, these are Coronado Springs. We bought these the previous time. Deborah says she's been all her life taking care of others, her parents, people in nursing homes, and private duty. God bless the caregivers. It's definitely not an easy job.
Yeah.
Wow. Some people are asking about your book. Let me get the books. We're a little slow to get our supplies, but all the people that have ordered, you can order the book. Bob's book is out. It's called He's My Guy, Bob's Story. And it looks like that. It's a very familiar picture of the two of them having breakfast. It's the one where she leans in and says, "He's my guy." That's what we use for the cover. And it's your life story and how you... Go ahead and tell what your book's about.
It's my childhood years, and then how I met Betty, and our courtship and romance, and then our young life.
All the steamy details.
Yeah. Well, I left out some of the details. But our life and the things that we did over the years, and our retirement years.
And then part of taking care of her and
taking
such.
care of her, yeah.
It's available on Amazon, and you can get that worldwide on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle. You can get it on audiobook, so you can start reading it or watching or listening to it tonight. If you want an autographed copy, our website is I'mBetty.com, and you and I have been signing, and we had just enough to fill all the orders we had. I'm expecting some right after Christmas, so any orders that come in now sadly won't be before Christmas, but Amazon might be able to get it to you before Christmas. We also have our children's book, The Adventures of Miss Betty's Flat Teddy, which we lovingly call Stanley, and that's about his adventure from Australia to come visit Miss Betty, keep her company, cheer her up, and his adventures keeping us company once she passed. And that's also on Amazon, or you can order it at I'mBetty.com.
He went with us last night.
He went with us last
Christmas.
night. Yeah, where'd we go? We went to McAdenville, North Carolina, and we have a good friend. He's our good Disney friend, Jay, and he lives right there in McAdenville. And McAdenville is this little town that for 50 or 60 years has transformed into what they call Christmastown, USA. And like if you live there, like you have to decorate. It's part of the HOA. So they have to do the lights and everything. And we did it with Mom 20 or 30 years ago. We drove us through.
Yeah.
This time we were able to go to his house and park, and we walked through, and there was a live nativity, live animals and singing, and Jay's daughter was singing, and she was great. We really enjoyed it. And it wasn't...
We went up and down several streets and saw all the trees.
It wasn't too
houses.
cold. When I talked to Jay earlier, he said, thank God we weren't doing it tonight, because tonight's cold and miserable and rainy and feels bad out there. Try going on a cruise on the new Norwegian Aqua. I've only been on one Norwegian cruise, and I liked it. We're used to Royal or Celebrity, and just we have the status there to get the free drinks, so it's hard to switch it up too much because we get the perks for being a high tier. How old was Betty when she was diagnosed?
Well, let's see, 11
Probably
years.
80 or 77, 78. I mean, she was not diagnosed until she was moderate to severe.
About 75
Yeah.
or 6, somewhere on there.
So she was not diagnosed until after the lung cancer and stuff, probably 6 or 8 years before she passed.
Right.
But looking back, we see signs. One of the things I was working on the cruise, and this will be out early next year, I'm working on a book about the 7 stages of Alzheimer's and the 7 things I learned taking care of my mother. So in it, I talk a lot about the stages. And so your stage 1 and your stage 2. Stage 1, you have no idea. It can be 10 years at stage 1 because things are happening under the surface. Things are concealed. The mind is able to compensate. So you really have no idea how long stage 1 lasts. Stage 2, you start to notice a few things, but it could be normal. So a lot of people aren't diagnosed until moderate to severe, just because at that point it becomes problematic. So what were some of the things we noticed early on? I have to blow my nose. Excuse me. I'm going to duck to the side while I let you talk.
Well, in our RV park in Florida, I ran the bingo games once a week at the rec hall, and Betty helped me sell cards and stuff. And she had trouble counting money, and then I noticed she couldn't keep up with her bingo game, and I thought, well, maybe she's just tired. When she talked to people, she wouldn't look them in the eye. She'd constantly looking to me to reassure what she was saying, and there were a lot of little signs. She quit reading. She was an avid reader of paperbacks. She loved them, and she stopped doing that. And she lost interest in cooking, and she started to make mistakes cooking. That's why I kind of took over things, because she was burning things. And so
I remember one time we were having a family dinner on a Saturday night, and we had a pie, and she went to cut the pie, and she cut it all weird, like not how you would cut a pie. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, why would you make rows instead of starting across the middle? And it's stuff like that.
yeah.
There's a couple people on, Caroline and Leanne, a couple people we got to meet at Epcot or at Disney that are saying it was great meeting us both.
It was, yeah.
You
I enjoy meeting the people, yeah.
And we were talking, we ran into a bunch of people on the cruise and a bunch of people at Disney, but Disney, everybody's got you're kind of focused on what you're doing, and there's so many people that unless we kind of cross paths with people, which the people that we met, we literally were like crossing paths, and they were like, oh my gosh, I follow you guys. Otherwise, there's probably a lot more there that follow us.
Sure.
That just didn't see us, because it's a huge place. Let's see, Scotland, United Kingdom. Have we ever been to the UK? I have not. You have not.
I have not.
I would like to.
Somebody sent me a cloth thing that had all the castles in
yeah.
Scotland on it.
You still have it hanging up in there?
Yeah, I still have it, yeah.
Yeah. Does Bob still do puzzles? You finished the one puzzle, but with
I
our
haven't
travel.
since Dina left, but I'm working on a book.
Tell them about your book.
I'm working on a book about my great-grandfather who was in the Civil War, and I'm going to write about his experiences. And so I'm working on that. I want to get that done before I get involved in a puzzle.
So you're keeping yourself occupied.
Yeah.
But when you're bored, we can do that again.
Sure.
Here's someone that's saying, Tiffany's saying her grandpa passed 5 years ago, and her granny, which does have dementia, Alzheimer's, seems that she doesn't grasp what death is. She still mourns grandpa most of the time. She talks about borrowing my phone when he visits heaven so she can take pictures and bring back and show us. She had to go over there because she was thinking someone had murdered grandpa. That's hard. The best advice I can give you is to step into their world, and if that becomes saying that grandpa's gone to the store, or he's running errands or whatever, sometimes you can distract. It depends where they are in their journey. If she's sharp enough to know he's not running to the store, but sometimes you'll get to a point where you'll be able to say he's gone to the store, he'll be back in a little bit, And you might have to do that
Change
20
topics.
times, change topics and redirect.
Yeah.
Redirect, show them something different, try to get their attention some other way. Let's see. Our stuffed shells look good. We love making. That's one of my favorites. And I do,
That's a good one.
kind of my little thing. You cook the Italian sausage, and then I mix up the stuff and stuff them.
Cook the shells, pre-cooked.
Yeah. North Idaho. Mike's mom was diagnosed in her early 50s and passed from early onset. So 50s is really young. We were fortunate that mom didn't really be affected until into her 70s. Let's see. What's our favorite Disney resort to stay at? What's your favorite?
So far, it's the Grand Floridian.
Grand Floridian. Yeah. I mean, my favorite overall is Grand Floridian. It's the deluxe, and I can't always afford to stay there. The way I stay there is I'm not a DVC member. DVC's Disney's timeshare thing, but there are websites that you can rent or buy points from other people. And depending on when you do that, sometimes the deal seems really good. So the couple of times I've stayed there, I've done it that way. And we're going back and staying there in March because I was able to get a decent point rental deal. Otherwise, my favorite moderate is Coronado Springs, which is where we stayed this last time. And if you can be in the tower, then it feels like a deluxe property. Here's some vile lady that we're making money to go on trips because her mom passed away. She's quite the thing. Just FYI, we've raised over $100,000 for the Alzheimer's Association. We're one of the top 50 individual fundraisers for the Alzheimer's Association in the world. A portion of all of our books and everything does go to our fundraiser. We just had a sauce sale and raised, with Father Jim, raised some more money there. We've got your book. When the funds start to come in from that, we'll be able to up our fundraising goal a little bit. So we're continuing the awareness around Alzheimer's disease. So to people like that, I say, what are you doing? And have you donated to our fundraiser? Please do. Put your money where your mouth is. Because this lady looks a little bit like an ugly person. Norway, happy we both can go on the trips. My thought with the trips is that while you weren't able to go a lot of places when you were taking care of mom.
Right.
And right now you're able. We don't know how many more years you'll be able to do trips and cruises. So I'm definitely kind of maximizing that now to in excess. But in a year or two, who knows what, people's health can change.
So far, I've been pretty good.
Right. So far, you're pretty good.
I can actually walk too, but the scooter helps me in the long run with a sciatic nerve. I can't stand on my feet for a long period of time and walk a great distance. I'm kind of slow walking now, and you can go much faster than me. So the scooter works perfect.
Yeah. And places like Disney where the train's different. I mean, first of all, that would be too much walking. But when you do walk, I'm careful to kind of hold on to you, especially on the ship because the ship's moving. I don't want you falling and breaking a hip at this point. So when we have extended walking to do the scooter's a good thing. Our friend Caroline, it's funny, I met Caroline 2 years in a row at Disney, at Epcot, and she says, hello from Hollywood Studios, where her husband and I were just escorted in as family of the night. Awesome.
Nice.
And her mom had turned like 96 or 97, and she had a picture on her phone. Her mom's present was your book.
Yeah.
And she's saying here, got Bob's book half read already. There's somebody says got both Betty and Bob's book. A lot of people say they miss my mom and wife, and
no, we do.
We do too, for sure. And we're so grateful to be able to kind of keep her legacy alive. The videos talking about. There's not a day that goes by that we don't remember stuff. And when we go on our trips, we took a lot of cruises and went to Disney with her a lot, so we have a lot of memories and things that we're able to remember and have happy memories of that. Somebody's asking, how do we like Coronado Springs? It is a nice resort.
It is really nice.
It really is. I mean, the property's big, and if you're out far away, that's fine too. It's a little bit of walking back to the main building, but you get to walk around the lake. My brother and sister-in-law and nephew were there, and They were in one of the outer buildings.
We stayed in the outer building.
We've stayed in the outer buildings before. This time we were in the tower, and I like that because it's close. And we were up high, so we had a little bit of a view, which was nice. We could see Hollywood Studios. Even though I didn't pay for a view, I had resort view, which was the parking lot. But from that side, you could see Galaxy's Edge, and Tower of Terror was off in the distance. Let's see. Just recently read on Betty. I gave it to my mom to read also. I have that book also. Looking forward to reading the Bob book. Followed us for years. Thank you. Deb is saying it's crazy how she feels like that she's known us. I'm impressed when we run into people. They remember so much about Mom, even sometimes things that we didn't remember, but they'll remember, oh, I remember when she stole the donut or when we did this or that. And it's so fun that people have such fond memories. It's probably been asked, but how many children and grandkids does Bob have?
I had 3 sons, and I have 4 grandchildren, 3 boys and a girl. And the girl is married, and she's going to make me a great-grandfather the end of the month.
Right, New Year's
Eve.
Right. So hopefully in the spring, when they're in New Hampshire, when the snow is not, we're maybe going to try to take a trip up there to visit and see your great-grandchild.
We don't know whether it's a boy or a girl.
We don't. I'm the youngest of the siblings by 13 years to Dave and 15 years to John. Let's see. Happy Bob got his hat. Patrick's dad is starting with Alzheimer's. I'm so sorry. It's such a common, it's way too common a disease. There's Mary saying, Mom had a good sense of humor, and so do we. But she really did. She loved to clown around and be silly on the internet.
And we kind of picked on her a lot, and she could dish it right back.
She grew up in a house full of, well, she had a sister too, but she had a house full of boys when she grew up.
Right.
And then she married and had 3 boys, so we were kind of relentless to picking on her, and she was a good sport. She could take it and dish it when needed. New Zealand. What's the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's? This is a very common question. They're all dementia. Alzheimer's there are many kinds of dementia, but Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia. There's a few others. Lewy body, frontal temporal lobe, I think is another one. There's several types of dementia, but Alzheimer's is the most common. So you can kind of almost use those interchangeably. It's kind of that saying that all Alzheimer's is dementia, but not all dementia is Alzheimer's. So I hope that clarifies. People with PTSD tend to develop a form of dementia. I did not know that. That's interesting to know. Yeah. What Christmas traditions are you still doing since she passed? Well, this is a very abnormal year.
Right.
Last year we decorated, we did the whole thing.
Yeah.
We had gone to the beach for the week of Thanksgiving, but then we came back, you stayed here, and I went to Disney for the week. And you were here. We had Dina helping us too, so we went ahead and put the tree up and did all that and whatever. This year we were leaving Thanksgiving Day and not coming back to the 14th. And I have a lot of work going on. We had our travels going on. We're doing a lot of things. And we kind of had the discussion about, like, we're going to have to hustle up and pull the stuff down. And it just didn't seem, so we didn't decorate this year. But every minute we were on the cruise ship was beautifully decorated and it had music playing everywhere. And of course, Disney was decorated to the hilt everywhere and had music playing everywhere. So we spent 2.5 weeks. We went to McAdenville last night, Christmas Town. So we really, we enjoyed Christmas elsewhere. Christmas Day, we'll go to my brother's house for Christmas. Christmas Eve, I work part-time for a church doing worship production. And I kind of share my role with someone who does half the Sundays. That means I'm responsible for video, lights, slides, the online stream, sound, all of that stuff is my responsibility. And so I generally make Christmas Eve my responsibility because I don't travel anywhere. I don't really have a family everybody's grown up. So I just don't make any plans Christmas Eve. So we'll have between rehearsals and 2 services, you and I will probably go to church around 3, and we'll probably be done around 9. And so maybe we'll grab a bite in a restaurant after or before, an early lunch probably. But then Christmas Day, we haven't done presents in a while. We did when Mom was alive.
Yeah.
But we don't need anything. And we took the trip and went to Disney, and that was all better than stuff because we don't need any stuff. Feel better from Nebraska. Thank you. I think you got the Disney cough. You know, I had a cough before I went because I had an ear problem, and that was perpetuated. And it was almost, when I was on the cruise ship, it was almost better because I was at sea level and had that wonderful salt air, warm. And then we kind of started spending some time outside and came back. And you had it driving home, but now you're a little bit better.
I'm better, yeah.
Wendy's dealing with her dad, 78, early dementia, and she finds that he gets really aggravated between 2 and 5. Did we see this in Mom? This is called sundowning.
Sundowning. Yeah.
And when they get tired and the sun starts to go down, I mean, it kind of starts to trigger they want to go to sleep, they want to rest. She did get aggravated. She was generally aggravated about wanting to go home and would fight with you a lot. There's a lot of videos we posted about her getting aggravated in the afternoon. And we generally didn't want to put her to bed too early, because what would happen if we put her to bed early, she got up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then she's waking him up. So we needed her to stay up till about 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that.
I guess you got to change their mind and change direction so that distract them.
Yeah, distract. Let's see. Brother had brain atrophy. Let's see. I'm looking for more questions. When's our next trip? So we're going in March to a cruise from Tampa.
On my birthday.
On your birthday. We're going on his birthday to a cruise from Tampa. And you and Mom used to live in your RV park in Tampa. So we're going to go early enough that day so that we can spin through and say hi to some of your friends that may still be there. And then we're going to do that for a week. And then we're going to come back. And because Tampa's close to Orlando, of course, we're going to go back to Disney because we have our annual passes. Although I need to renew mine in February, but that was going to happen anyway. So we have our annual passes. And we're going to go. Our friend Jay, who we were with last night, who's a big Disney fan, is going to be there as well. And he's an exclusive member of something called Club 33. So we get some extra perks when we're with Jay. So we're excited about that. And we're going to hang and enjoy that. I think I saw pop up here. I can't find who asked it. But somebody asked if any of Mom's siblings. She had, 5 brothers and sisters?
Well,
she was one of 5.
One of 5, yeah.
And none of them had any kind of dementia.
No.
And as far as we know, nobody in her family had any kind of dementia.
She has one living brother.
And we met with him this summer, and he's still sharp as a tack and still kind of even working and things.
Yeah.
Let's see, Amanda from Buffalo, New York. Yay, Buffalo. Go Bills. I hope to visit again this summer. Marilyn's asking about Disney. Can we get the disability pass for your father at Disney? And so the disability pass is something that's kind of misunderstood at Disney. The disability pass at Disney has nothing to do with a mobility disability because their lines are handicap accessible, or if they aren't, they do give an accommodation. The disability pass is for people that, for other reasons, can't wait in line. Typically, someone in the autism spectrum. When Mom had Alzheimer's, we were able to get it then. They've changed their requirements now a little bit because too many people were getting it. But we were able to get it because of Mom's Alzheimer's, because she did lose patience in line and often declare she needed to use the restroom. And so the way the disability pass works, if you qualify for it, you have to qualify for it now on a live chat with Disney, I think 60 days or 30 days before your trip. But the way it works is you're able to book the attraction and you wait, however long the line is, you still wait, but you come back. You don't have to wait in line. You come back at the end and you go on a shorter line to get through. Most of the attractions, we did the thing, Lightning Lane, you can pay for it and book them. So I don't like waiting in line if I can help it. So I'll pay for the Lightning Lane for the day and I'll book them ahead. And there were times we were with our friend Dean, we didn't use the Lightning Lane and we just waited for things. With the scooter, you're able to wait in line for most things. Occasionally, if it's something like Spaceship Earth or Small World, they'll see the scooter and they'll send you in the exit and you'll get on in a different place. Or sometimes like Pirates of the Caribbean, if the scooter doesn't quite fit in the line, they have you park the scooter and give you a wheelchair to go in with. Or sometimes we just parked it and you walked in if we knew it wasn't going to be a lot of standing. You wouldn't
I
want
walked
to be
into
Pirates. Yeah, that was like a 20-minute wait. You wouldn't want to be like where you're going to wait like an hour. We waited like 55 minutes for Avatar, and you were able to sit, and Dean and I were able to visit and catch up. People are saying from what they see at Magic Kingdom and Disney, you get along. You kind of amaze people because you keep up pretty good. We did 2 late night parties. Oh, thank you for the stars. That's real sweet. I don't really know a lot about the stars, but it set up a little rocket ship there. Somebody sent us 10,000 stars, so that's very sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, here's Stephanie worked at Coronado Springs back in the 90s. It has changed a lot, yes. I remember staying there in the 90s or early 2000s, and they tore down one section of regular buildings and built that tower. And I know they built that tower like late 2018, right before the world shut down. And so when I went back, maybe that was 22, it was after COVID, like the tower was still very new because they hadn't used it a lot. Chrissy says her daddy used to sneak out in his wheelchair and go to the local diner and they would feed him and then call her. Oh, that's scary, but I'm glad he was going somewhere that they took care of him.
Yeah. They knew him.
We put the door, there were like child door handle things on our doors that you had to squeeze. And so Mom was never able to open the doors on her own. Some people put high up locks or do a deadbolt with a key on both sides. If you do something like that, you need to be careful that you're not setting yourself up that you can't get out in a hurry.
Yeah.
We did. She got mad at you one time, and she went out like the back door or something, and then she wandered like down the street a little bit, right? That was when we put some cameras up outside so we could figure out which way she went, and then we looked into the door things. Yeah. I forget why she got mad at you. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Think of all the reasons Mom used to get mad at you.
Every day, maybe.
Is there anything you need to do on your bucket list? What about you, Dad? I've still got a bucket list.
Well, we talked about going back to New Orleans.
Yeah, we want to go back to that World War II museum. I want to cruise to Alaska. I know there's a way to do it land and sea. I don't think you could do the land part, but maybe we can figure out just doing the sea part and kind of accomplish that. What else on your bucket list? You did a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Well, you were telling me the other day you wanted to be an author and publish a book.
Yeah, I talked about it when I retired. I said, I want to write a book in my retirement years. During my work career, I wrote a lot of reports and specifications and stuff, so I was pretty good. The reports, are similar to books. They explain the projects and.
Thank you, Melly, for the stars. There was another rocket that just flew across the screen.
Nice. So I thought, maybe I can write a book.
Hey, guess who just popped on? Debbie Holleran, who is Mom's favorite niece.
Yeah.
And she was Mom's favorite niece because Mom never had any girls, right?
Right.
And she wanted a girl. I was supposed to be the girl. She had 3 boys, and she needed a girl to spoil. And so Debbie, and I didn't even realize this until we reconnected with Debbie in later years, and she's like, Aunt Betty was like, I was like her favorite. She liked to spoil and dote on me. And so we were grateful that in later years we were able to reconnect with Debbie when Mom was alive too. So we took Mom up there several times to meet with her, and we had went to visit her salon, and she cooked us a nice meal the one visit, and then you and I this summer we met them out for dinner, and it's so great. She embodies the spirit of family and love and preserving the traditions, and she just really thrives in that history of the family. So Debbie, we'll be sending you, as soon as I get more copies, I'm a little light on copies, we'll be sending you Bob's book because I know you like to you're the keeper of the family history. So we really appreciate that. What did Bob do for work in his younger days? And you talk a lot about this in the book too.
Yeah, I do. I worked for a civil engineer, and we did municipal projects. And I was a project manager. And I had several men that worked under me, and I had some major projects in my career. And I cover some of the highlights of my projects in the book.
I want to show this guy sitting at his desk in, what year did we say this is? Probably 1978. Look at Mr. Bob, the engineer, there with his tie and his white shirt and his telephone. And you did everything with written. There were no computers.
Right? Everything was...
You wrote stuff up and the secretary would type it.
Yep.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
There's a picture of you and I at one of your jobs. You did like a water line for the town of Colden, which is where I went to Boy Scouts. And I feel like I came across a picture of us.
I did everything from 48-inch water lines down to 8-inch.
Let's see. There's he and I at the Colden Fire Hall with this water line. What was it? It was some kind of
It was an emergency water supply
because they didn't have
for the
water
fire
there.
department.
But it pulled from some. Yeah, it was 1986.
It pulled from a pond
1986.
and would supply water only for fires.
Look at that cute kid. Let's see here. Lots of people say they've always watched us since the Mirror video. That was the one where most people started watching. Linda here just lost her 95-year-old mom this July. I'm sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
Betty passed in July. So we remember we're a year and a half already. Time does fly. Somebody, I scrolled past it, so I can't remember who asked it, but asked, what did we do when she wanted the coffee? And we didn't want her to have coffee late at night because we wanted her to sleep all night. But initially we fought her, and then we learned to go along. Sometimes I would give her cranberry juice and just call it coffee. Or if you put it in the coffee mug, we played that trick a lot. Even sometimes in the morning when she wanted more coffee and we kind of didn't think giving her that much coffee was a good idea, we just put her juice. One of our caregivers taught us that. Louise is like, I just dump her juice in the coffee mug and say, here's your coffee. And she's delicious because
She probably couldn't taste it.
probably can't taste it. She can't tell hot from cold. And she just, did it. In later years, and this is one of those, when she'd get kind of wound up at night, I would sometimes, and a lot of people are going to throw hate for this, but we did talk to the neurologist, and the neurologist is like, not going to hurt anything at this stage. Sometimes I'd pour that cranberry juice, and I'd give her a finger or two of Tito's in that, and I'd say, here, drink this juice. And she'd sit there, and I'd say, how's your juice? And she's, ooh, delicious, and then it mellowed her right out, because she went from, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home, to just being like, watching TV and hanging out, and gave Betty a little bit of a buzz. And we caught a lot of hate for that. Or the CBD gummies. We never had any, the THC stuff's not legal here, so we never had any of that, but we did try some CBD gummies that had varying effects. I did toy one time when I went to Vegas because it's legal out there. I thought, and I'd done research about you give them a quarter of the THC gummy and whatever, and I'd researched where to get it in Vegas, but then because it's not legal here, to get home, I would have been committing a felony flying with it. It's not legal federally, and I would have committed a felony in every state I crossed over where it wasn't legal. So I was like, all right, this will be my luck because I'm going to be on the news for smuggling drugs. The dogs are going to attack me. So we never had the opportunity to try that. But some people do talk to their doctor about medical marijuana or THC to kind of mellow her out. But we found Tito's did the trick too. Tito's vodka. A lot of people say hard to deal with the angry side of the disease. Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Janet's sister has dementia. Sometimes she knows us, sometimes she doesn't. She's getting out of the house and walking. I told my son-in-law he needs alarms on the doors.
Betty always knew you and I.
Yeah. Towards the end, she would mix us up a little bit.
Yeah, she mixed you up for me.
Pardon me. But I look like a younger version of him, and look, we're dressing alike. So
yeah. Can
you guys tell who's who right here? But I definitely would do what you need to make sure they can't get out. Patty wants to know, do we bicker much?
You and I?
Yeah.
You and I get along
not
pretty
really.
well.
I get a little frustrated because every once in a while, he likes to be what I call Visa. So Visa is everywhere you want to be. So sometimes he hustles up and gets right where I want to be. But otherwise, it's all right.
So I have to try to stay out of his way. I have to hang on every word so I don't.
He generally doesn't hear what I say when I talk. I do chuckle because I'll be upstairs for like 2 hours. And I'm like, I'm going to go downstairs. Like our show's coming up in 10 minutes. I'm going to go downstairs, grab a snack, and I come downstairs. And the minute I get here in the kitchen, where do you go?
To the refrigerator.
He goes to the refrigerator. So then I just like step back and stand and wait. But it's all right. We spend a lot of time with
We're
our
not
trips
like
and
the
stuff.
Odd Couple.
Not quite like the Odd Couple. But I probably lose my temper more, and he's pretty even-keeled about it. He doesn't get too wound up. Took care of a young woman with frontal lobe dementia. Yeah, that can be difficult. Yeah. Alzheimer's is more memory-focused. I'm not terribly familiar with the symptoms of the other dementias, but some of them can make people very angry or aggressive.
But he had very little of that.
Yeah. And she was always kind of very submissive or docile. So she was used to just the generational thing. Not that you had to control her in your marriage, but she was used to, you know, what he said went. And then in later years, they were living in my house, what I said went. So if there was a problem or conflict and I said, knock it off or you're not doing that, you know, she didn't ever want to make me mad because she knew she was living here. So she would just, okay, you know, like the boss has spoken. And Dina used to play off that because if I would holler down like, what's the problem? Dina would be like, the boss is coming. You know, the boss hears you, you know, like, and you could kind of distract and play off of that. With the advancement of medicine and AI, do you see a cure from Alzheimer's coming? I sure hope so. We do. I can't say a lot about what we're working on, but we're working on something soon that we're doing with a partner company that's going to allow us to support more caregivers in the future. We love connecting with some of our followers and being able to support them and talk about their loved one and answer those questions. So we're working on something that's kind of in that space that may help us support more caregivers, because there are so many. I can't answer all the messages. I try. I go in there and look. And the way Facebook works is when when I do a story and someone hearts the story, it becomes a message to me. So there gets to be some messages you can't see them all. So I try. Have you ever gotten the Disney rash? I've been pretty good. Disney rash is like, sometimes in the summertime you have to watch chafing and too much heat, but I've never gotten the Disney rash on my legs. Some people get red all up and down their legs. What happened to Bob's scooter? I think they were talking about the crash. He crashed it, but it was okay. We were able to kind of tighten things up.
That's a tough little scooter.
Linda's saying, I probably need a tube in my ear. I had tubes in my ear as a child, and I had them 3 times as an adult. And so I had one in the problem ear 6 or 8 months ago, and sadly it came out relatively quick. And so, but then the hole was there. I had tubes, and the last time I had tubes, the holes stayed in my ear for like 15 or 20 years, and I was problem free. And then one ear has decided to heal the hole up. I don't know why. At age 50, the eardrum decides to miraculously heal after having a hole for so long. And so I went right before our trip with the plugged ear. I went to the doctor that I'd seen forever, and he was retiring in like 2 weeks. So he says, we probably need a more permanent tube, but I'm on my way out. So I want you to see this new guy. So we went the other day to see the new guy, and he wants to kind of track me a little bit before he does a 4th ear surgery, which is probably wise. We did talk about a more permanent tube, a T-tube that would do it. So I just need to spend some time to get reconnected to this new doctor and let him kind of feel like it's the best thing. Because we don't want to, I've had tubes so many times, it can affect my hearing. But the tubes fix my problem totally. There's the question I saw. Anybody siblings having memory issues? We answered that.
No.
Tampa, somebody lives in Tampa. New Hampshire. Somebody named Mike wants to meet our friend Jay. He's awesome. We really like Jay. We were grateful to meet him. And he and I are really good friends. Let's see. Sundowning. So happy you're enjoying your time. Yeah, sundowning is what they're talking about. Someone says, I love the show. Well, it wasn't really a show. It was just me sharing my life on my personal Facebook page and TikTok. And a lot of my life, I shared always what I did just for my friends and family, and people used to get a kick out of it. And then these two would come and visit, and there was always humor. Maybe not so many videos early on. There was more posts about your antics.
Yeah.
And people, all my friends and family used to say, you need like a reality series with these two. Well, hello TikTok, and that's kind of what these short form videos kind of turns into the reality show, and we kind of had that.
Maybe you've seen the post where I put a cold water bottle on my wife's arm.
Yes.
And she gets annoyed at me.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's been shared.
That's been used all over the place. Was she ever put on a statin to lower cholesterol? She was, unlike you and unlike me, she was late in life. Like, she really was not on any medications at all.
Right. She was well into her late 60s before she began to even take any medicine.
Because you debated even putting her on the drug program.
She had cholesterol and high blood pressure medicines. That was it.
But not till the late 60s. And
right.
Learning what I've learned about the disease now, that stage 1 can be present. What we think, and there are some studies that back this up, but she had a series of surgeries in a short period of time. She had a hip surgery, she had a colon surgery, she had a hernia surgery. She had lung cancer, so she had part of her lung removed. She had kidney cancer, she had part of her kidney removed. She had a bleeding ulcer. She had sepsis several times that was hospitalized. And every time one of these things happened, she did not quite return to baseline. And so there are some studies that do talk about the fact that anesthesia can accelerate these symptoms. So we really started to notice the memory problem being a problem about the time of the lung cancer, but we were focused on fighting cancer because cancer is the big one. So you're like, oh, this is, lung cancer is bad. And she fought that. And then she had kidney cancer and we fought that. And so we were after those two things and sepsis from surgeries and things like that. And she'd already had the hip and the colon and everything. She had part of her colon removed. She already had all of that before we even thought about talking to a doctor about the memory.
Yep.
So I think a lot of surgeries together can potentially accelerate. Let's see. How do you order Bob's book? It's available on Amazon. Search for He's My Guy, Bob. And I've learned if you search it without the apostrophe and he's, it doesn't come up. If you search it with the apostrophe, it comes up. Or you can go to I'mBetty.com and you can order one directly from us. And we have the Amazon links there. So if you remember, I'mBetty.com, I'mBetty.com. Janet lost her husband 7 years ago to Lewy body dementia. We're fortunate Mom didn't become violent because, and she's developed multiple melanoma. So we're praying for you.
Yeah, jeez.
I wonder if that's video where she's wanting a cup of coffee. That's one of Deb. She said that's one of her favorite because she was bound and determined. Yes, she was stubborn like her father, wasn't she?
Oh yeah.
They're saying you would probably like to see your grandchildren there come springtime. So we're going to try to make that happen. I think you and I can fly up to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Excuse me, people. Let's see. Tara's staying at Cornell Springs for the first time. Usually we stay at Pop Century, trying something new. I love this blue. They still have it in the gift shop. The Maya Grill, the Mexican place at the hotel, was absolutely phenomenal. Wasn't it, Dad?
Yes, it was.
We had a good meal there. Pat loves watching us. Her mom had dementia for years and passed at 97. Wow. 97.
Oh. Hope I get that far.
Right.
Think you can put up with me with that?
I don't know. I might get annoyed if you take my fridge space. Debbie saying she always spoiled me, loved her, and you too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
She would love a book. Debbie will be sending you some as soon as I get some more author copies. I think I'm expecting, I had just enough to fill the orders I had. I think I'm expecting some more copies right after Christmas. What was Bob's degree in? Bachelor in Civil Engineering? What was your... You went to school?
Yeah, I studied civil engineering, yeah.
You did a lot of water lines and...
Water, sewer, yeah.
City stuff.
Parking lots, you name it. Wrote a lot of reports.
I'm scrolling to try to look for more questions. Tara says she loves watching our adventures. We like continuing to share. Some of you people, it's fun to just share on Facebook because I'm sharing with my friends and family anyway. Some of you have commented that you know, you're not going to go to Disney or can't go to Disney and whatever, and they like seeing it or on cruises. So some people like kind of seeing and learning about it. Thanks for all you do to bring attention to this terrible disease. That's what we're going to continue to do. And I'm excited for my book because it's going to be very more factual, focused on just helping the caregivers. So I'm very passionate about that. Where Mom's has been her life story, yours has been your life story. Mine is more factual, the stages and the 7 takeaways I learned, and I'm intertwining personal stories in, but you'll be able to read that as a caregiver and apply it to caring for your loved one. A chiropractor can help with your ears. I do see one, and it helped a lot, but my eustachian tubes are just so small. So
we have a great chiropractor.
Yeah, we were there today, in fact.
Yeah. She's helped my sciatic.
Yes. You said today that she's helped you. Dr. Lynn at Advanced Spinal here in Mooresville is amazing. We
I was
love
having trouble even
visiting her.
standing for minutes, and I don't have that problem anymore.
Deb says her mom laughs at her because she always say I love butter. So Deb's with you on the butter. Let's see. We've got a few more minutes. Lots of people are asking about the book. Again, Amazon will share a link to this when we're done. Lots of people say when they started following was the video with the mirror. That video, when I add up all the reposts and things and the times it's been shared, it really was shared, viewed like 85,000 times.
That was just an accident.
Yeah, that was just a total accident.
Yeah.
Rita loves watching us, and she's been to Disney 4 times. We kind of addressed this. Sherry, has anybody's family been diagnosed with dementia? No. She's been the only one. Shirley in Ontario, Canada will be looking forward to my book. Deborah, her mom's on hospice. 3 years living in a hospital bed in your living room. That's a long time for hospice. Betty was on hospice from March through July, and that was a long, March, April, May, June, July. That was a long 4 months because that feels like a year. But
Yep.
yeah. Oh, please talk a little louder. Look, sorry. I'm a little hoarse. You got to talk. Maybe it's you.
Maybe it's me, yeah.
Yeah. Talk loud. Talk loud. Hospice is tough, but they were amazing. So I'm very grateful we had the support of palliative and then the support of hospice, because they really weekly came and met with us and offered insight, and things were changing so rapidly. Like I say, that 4 months, really felt like a year. So, and we were blessed to have help. Not everybody has the help. We had each other, and we were able to afford outside help. And hospice would provide someone 2 days a week to do the shower. We declined that because we were already, before we went on hospice, we already had someone 5 days or 7 days a week. Because if I wasn't here to physically help you, it was a lot physically to get her out of bed. And we went through a phase where she kind of fought us getting out of bed. We had to pull her up, and we were hurting our backs and things. And then that got easier. Yeah. How did the video with the mirror happen? We were on vacation for Thanksgiving time at a beach house or beach condo in near Myrtle Beach, and their bedroom was downstairs, and you guys had a full-length mirror. And she'd done it the night before. It was cute as all could be. I got a kick out of it because she's talking to herself, and I'm like, she's not seen the full-length mirror before. So the next night I was ready to just grab the video because I wanted to just show my friends, and I posted it first on TikTok, which I'd only done silly dances and lip syncs. I hadn't done anything serious on there. And then I decided to share it on Facebook. And one of my friends, Dean, who we met at Disney a week ago Monday, he messaged me and he says, that video is going to go viral. You know, and I kind of laughed. I'm like, yeah, maybe 5,000 people will see it or something. And by morning, there were thousands and hundreds of comments, and it just kept, like, I would check in every half hour and be like, oh my gosh, it's 21,000 views, and it's 50,000 views, 100,000 views. It was just spiraling exponentially. And then I think we went to bed that first night, and then I pulled up TikTok the next day, and like overnight, then it went viral like in other countries, because all of a sudden a lot of the comments were not in English, and I had to click translate to see what people were saying. So it was like all of a sudden the next day there were all these other comments. So we were very blessed that happened, and that definitely afforded us a better opportunity to be able to take care of her. That was our goal, to take care of her at home anyway, and that helped us do that. But more importantly, we were able to help a lot of people, because once we shared that video and started talking to people, we realized how common the disease was. And a lot of people had questions, wanted to talk about it. We wanted to share knowledge. We were learning things. We were sharing things we'd learned. People wanted to see more. So as soon as we figured out we had a platform, we definitely wanted to try to help people. And we went, the first year, it went viral in Europe first. She was in the Daily Mail out there, and we did some interviews and things, and then it settled down. It settled down and never really got crazy in the U.S. until a whole year later. And then a lot of people started following, and then we did a video where she wanted a cookie for breakfast. And I wouldn't give her the cookie for breakfast. I was giving her a hard time. Ultimately, you gave her the cookie, but the video was a two-part video because it was long. And so I saved the part where he gave her the cookie for the next day. And the internet had an outcry about us not giving her the cookie, and cookies started showing up, and corporate Crumble Cookies started sending cookies, and Grandma's Cookies sent a case of cookies, and people started sending cookies and slippers and puppy dogs and stuffed animals and treats.
Throw rugs and
everything you can imagine.
Throw blankets and
and that got us the attention here, where then we were in the Charlotte Observer, we were on news, we were on CNN. It went viral again. Not only about her with the mirror video, but now the entire world, because we were getting things from all over the world, were rallying around this woman with dementia. And so then I was trying to figure out, like, how do we harness this? Because, we don't need any more stuff. People were sending things. So I had a friend, I had someone that was in the neighborhood whose mother also had Alzheimer's, and she recognized where I lived because our houses were actually the same. So when she wrote to me, she's like, I think I know where you live. My parents live at such and such, and we have the same kitchen. And it was actually the house I almost bought.
Yeah.
Before I bought this one, I was going to buy that one. And so we met her, and she was a big volunteer for the Alzheimer's Association. And she connected me with the vice president from the North Carolina area, who was very interested to talk to me. And we talked about how we can try to divert things to fundraising efforts. So to date, we've raised over $100,000. We continue to raise a lot of awareness. Our fundraising, of course, now that Mom's not around, definitely will slow down, but we won't stop because the disease continues, and hopefully someday there's a cure or a way through this disease. We want to continue to try to educate and support as many caregivers as we can through our journey, because when we entered this journey, we really wish we'd have had a little more support or an idea of what to expect. We were kind of blind going in. We didn't know a lot about this. So if we can help, I know we've helped more than one person, but I was going to say if we can help one person, we've done our job. And Mom would be people used to get on us about sharing her private life, but she would definitely have been about helping people. So
and that was her whole life.
Yeah.
She helped somebody.
She really did. Well, it's been about an hour. We want to say Merry Christmas to our followers. I'm going to scan real quick and see if there's any need advice on how to process all of the grief associated with caregiving after a recent death. We really struggled with that because we were both so invested in caregiving for years, and then we had help, but that also meant we had people in the house like every day for years. And so when she passed, and I told Dina I didn't need her anymore, and you and I woke up and it was like neither one of us kind of had I had work and things to do, but you didn't have a purpose at that juncture. It was very sad. We definitely tried to take a couple trips, because I wanted to get him out and about. I wanted to do a cruise, and we discovered your passport expired. So we went to Vegas and saw some friends out there, and then we did the Panama Canal cruise as soon as we could, and that kind of set things different. And then we ended up having Dina come back part-time for a while to kind of keep company, and that was a great transition. Not everybody's going to have that path, but then you got busy working on the books and things.
Yeah, you suggested I write the book, and
you could do things to just kind of keep yourself busy. Think of hobbies. The puzzles one, the travels one, get involved in nonprofits and helping others, even if it's not Alzheimer or dementia related. Just give yourself a purpose, because that was the shock, is that you and I were we're both caregivers for so long. Someone saying to let you talk. So I think it's that same lady that told me I was mean anyway. But what do you want to say?
I don't have anything to say.
There you go. Sherry Bellinger Jones. But that's the best advice I can get. I mean, grief is hard. Look for support groups. Alzheimer's Association has a 24/7 hotline with resources. Church groups will have grief support groups. Reach out to me. I don't see every message. I try, but definitely want to try to help people. So I think we'll wrap it up. Thank you for everyone who joined in from all over the place. We really enjoyed getting to visit with you. I'm sorry I didn't let you talk. Anything else you want to say while you're allowed to talk?
No, I think you've said it all.
And put your hat back on. Thank you, Walter Burrow Cracker Barrel, for sending his hat
We'll
back.
definitely stop there on our next.
Yeah, we're coming down in March, so we'll stop there. You and Mom used to camp at that exit.
Yeah,
as a
there's
halfway
a
point
campground
home.
right across the road from the Cracker Barrel, and
so you've eaten there many times. So
I've camped over there and eaten at Cracker Barrel many times.
So Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great
Christmas.
holiday, safe. Thank you. And there's Dean. I just see Dean's online, so we enjoyed getting to hang with Dean at Disney. Merry Christmas, Dean.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Debbie. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.